latest on Tropical Storm Bualoi, which is intensifying in the Western Pacific on approach to the Mariana Islands this morning. At 8 a.m. Chamorro Standard Time this October 20th, it had winds of 60 miles per hour and an estimated pressure of 992 millibars. The CDPS looks at Saipan for a potential landfall late on October 21st or early the 22nd. Stage 3 on the CDPS with rainfall amounts of 8 inches possible. A small wind field, but one that could deliver Category 2 force winds. Here is the current storm position and that rather small wind field, although larger on the western side, the leading edge, 11.4 north, 152.3 degrees east at the current time. So that puts the storm 510 miles from Saipan, 509 from Tinian and Rota, 520 and 527 on those two locations in Guam, Yigo and Hagatna. The storm will draw closer over the next few days, and a hurricane watch or typhoon watch is in effect for Rota, Tinian and Saipan, and a tropical storm watch is in effect for the island of Guam as the storm draws nearer. JTWC, just for the record, calling for 105 mile per hour impact on Saipan in the next few days. Of course, there's a cone of uncertainty for a reason. That may yet not happen. This is the rain trail over the next 7 days. Then we watch the storm's progression towards the west-northwest at first, then turning a little bit more towards the northwest through the islands, then out towards the north. Another one that could go on to affect the Japanese islands later on in its life, although the time is getting short for this typhoon season, and most likely sea surface temperatures will drop off too much before it gets there. Recurving off later on, but all those purple areas there, that's 3 inches of rain or higher. Sea surface temperatures fairly warm, 28, getting on for 29 degrees Celsius as it nears the islands. Ocean heat content, as we saw with Haggis, is very high in the region. But what's stopping it from doing a Haggis is probably Haggis, because there is still a little bit of upwelling, definitely in terms of the energy, the ocean heat content. Of course, if the storm does deviate towards the south and or west, then there is a decent chance that it will get much stronger due to untapped waters by any of those other storms. But nonetheless, we're still calling for this storm quite possibly to reach Category 3 status quite easily, actually, after it passes the Mariana Islands. And we know what these storms can be like. It could strengthen much quicker than expected. Chance of tropical storm force winds on Saipan already near certain, 94%, Tinian 92%, Anatahan 87%, Rota 71%, and Yigo in Guam is at 48%, so nearing half chance even on Guam at this time. This is what the models are saying. HWRF and CTCX the highest, calling for Category 3, and JTWC agrees with that. GFS running a little low as usual. Wind shear does favour the storm massively, especially when we get up to the last 24 hours before landfall, dropping to near zero. Sea surface temperatures very warm, 30 degrees at first perhaps, dropping a little bit later on. And the rest of the conditions looking very good. Models deviating after the storm moves through the islands, but Saipan region, we're looking at the potential landfall area, and models are in good agreement on that. This is the latest satellite imagery of the storm today, and you can see how there's been a few blow-ups around the storm in recent images, although the central area not looking quite as good in those latest frames. Strengthening fairly constant at the moment, up to 60 miles per hour at this point. I do expect that this will reach typhoon status later today, or maybe late today if it does run a little bit slow, but definitely the islands should be watching out for this storm and significant typhoon impacts. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's at Force 13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.